Everybody, this is Brian Koo with another Osiris League betting video. We are into the semi-finals of the Osiris League, and let's get right to the betting this week. Last week we had a solid week, nothing too incredible, but we did hit a nice underdog bet on OWR, and then we won all three of our 50-50 bets, but none of our other underdogs hit, and I felt afterwards, after I made that video, like maybe I had just picked too many underdogs that I didn't feel particularly strong about. I have moved up to second overall in my kingdom. So if you've been following my bets all season long, I'm sure you're doing quite well and are in a position to buy out the shop and also brag to everybody in your kingdom about what a smart Osiris League bettor you are. I know everybody likes to brag about big deals like that, but we still have a few weeks left, and it's getting down to only the top teams remaining. And interestingly enough, we have some amazing bets this week. This might be the best betting scenario that we've had for this entire Osiris League. I looked at these matches real quick and was like, oh, I have obvious bets here. Let's just make the video. So this is what we're looking at here. Starting off in the realm of Horus, we are going to make a bet on OWR. We're going to bet 10% of our bankroll on OWR here. And basically a couple of things. First of all, OWR has looked very strong in the Osiris League so far. They pulled off a very legitimate win last week against GV77. They do have a common opponent with 75 DC. Both teams beat WIB in this season's Osiris League. OWR won by 3,000 points. WIB, or 75 DC, won a slightly closer match, but nothing to really take from those point differentials. Worth noting that OWR beat GV77 last week by 14,000 points, while 2 weeks ago, 75 DC only won by 9,000 points against the B team from Kingdom 2377, AO77. I think that these are two very even teams, and with OWR being a slight underdog here, I do like a 10% bet on OWR. The next bet we're going to bet on here is 60MX over 3379. These odds they have been drifting a bit in 60MX's favor, but I still feel like we're going to make a very big bet here. We're going to bet 30% of our bankroll. I'm going to change this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and bet 25% of our bankroll on this one, because the odds have moved a little bit in MX's favor. But let's bet 25% of the bankroll on 60MX against 3379. This is based on a couple things. First of all, 60MX has had very good performances all through this Osiris League. I have it on good authority that they have been practicing a lot for this. And the other thing is just that 3379, with their win last week against 3174, a very close win, they really got everything out of their team that they could. I just realized I have my headphones on and I'm not listening to anything, so I'll take the headphones off. 3379, they used their points, their skill points very, very well last week. They won 2 out of 3 arcs, and I just felt like they really played about as well as they could, and ultimately still had a pretty close match against 3174. So I do think that 60MX is a class ahead here, and I simply think that if 60MX just really focuses on the middle and makes sure that they win all the mid fights, return the arc quickly, and make this a 3 or 4 arc game, I do think that 60MX can win this thing without doing anything too fancy. So I think maybe they're a slightly bigger favorite than this. I'm going to be honest, these odds have moved a lot since I looked at them last night, but we're going to go with 25% on 60MX. We then will move into the realm of Anubis, and we have got a 10% bet on 1188 over JST. These two teams last played in the Osiris League in Season 7, which was 2 seasons ago. It's been a while since they fought each other. JST won that match by about 9,000. It was a solid JST victory. The kill points in that match were basically even, so there was, in a sense, even back then, even a year and a half, 2 years ago, that the 1188 account strength was on the same level as JST. JST has looked pretty good in this Osiris League. Their opponents have not been amazing, but they've had very solid wins against all of them. 1188 has looked good as well, and 1188 was the better team last Osiris League season. They went farther in the tournament in season 8. So as a big underdog here, I do like a 10% bet on 1188, as I think these teams are pretty close to even. I would probably make JST a slight favorite in this match, but not a big one. Now, for our last two bets, we're going to go to the realm of best stats, and I do think we have some very good bets left here. The first one we're going to do is 489. We are going to bet on 489 to beat 16 OT. A couple of points to make here. First of all, 489 is a very good Auric team going back a number of years. They're the former Grand Prix champions. And they also had a very, very good performance last season, losing a epic 3-game series to GT in the finals. 16OT has done well in Osiris League in the past. What I'm noticing, though, is that their wins this season are not that impressive. They only won by 5,000 points last week against 65 AC. They won by 9,000 points against 07 KT. On the other hand, 489 has very impressive point differentials against some very good teams. 1718 is a very good team, and they won by they more than doubled 1718's score. There was another match earlier in the season that 489 had a tough opponent that they did well against. I think it might have been maybe 3379. It might have been 3379 that they beat early in the season quite handily. But regardless, 489 is looking really, really good here. We're going to go ahead and bet 35% of our bankroll on 489 here. They are the underdogs, but we just feel very, very good about this bet. And as a reminder, if you do bet wrong, you will get half your Aurics back. So it's just good to bet them all each week. So yeah, we're going to go with 35% on 489. They are our best bet of the week. And then with what we have left here, about 20% of our bankroll, we're going to put it on beer. We are going to put it on beer. From what I have heard, beer is very close to being the best team out there. 748 is a super good Osiris League team as well. I would imagine that these two teams have probably practiced against each other from time to time, just because I think they're both very serious about Auric. Both teams have been extremely impressive in their wins. They had tough opponents last week, and they both won easily. This is going to be a great match, and I just think that people are not quite sure how good beer is, whereas I think just from talking to people, I have a better feel for that. And I think beer is genuinely an elite team. So we, as an underdog here, we are comfortable putting the rest of our Aurics 20% on beer to beat 748W. So we've got some underdog bets this week and one favorite bet, and I'm feeling pretty good about these, no doubt about it. I will be casting 2 matches on the official Osiris League, or the official Rise of Kingdoms channel, at 13 and 15 UTC. We're casting as a team. We are casting 5 of these 6 matches in the 3 Season of Conquest realms. We will not, there's no coverage of Sobek just yet, but if you are a Sobek player, then certainly bet on these teams appropriately. I believe NP has pulled some really big upsets to get to this point. And I think EE also pulled a huge upset last week to beat 3560. So for the Sobek bettors in the know, they are probably killing it this year in the league betting. But let's go ahead and do the betting summary, and I'll get you out of here. In the realm of Horus, we are betting 10% on OWR over 75 DC and 25% on 60 MX over 3379. In the realm of Anubis, we are betting 10% on 1188 to beat JST We're betting 35%, our best bet of the week, on 489 over 16 OT, and 20% on beer to beat 748W. That wraps it up for this week of Osiris League betting. Do throw a like on this video if you're enjoying the content. Subscribe to my channel, and best of luck in all your action.